All right, we are live. We're a little late. We're a little late on this. I got some things to tell you guys, got some things to get into, but we're late. But 24 hours later, I still think it's just about as sweet as it was last night. Have you guys come down off this mountain yet? Are y'all planning on doing like I am and riding this for the next 10 days? I know people were upset after the, and I'm a little bit sorry, my voice is gone. But if you were in New Orleans last night and your voice isn't gone, then we should probably be having a conversation with you, not me. I shouldn't get questions about that. I probably chanted the fight song more times than I've ever done in my life in a certain day. Probably yelled the war chant louder than I ever had. That was a fun game to be at. That was a lot of fun. So I want to talk with you guys about a few things. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Now, I don't know how long we'll go because I don't know how much voice I've got, but if anybody else wants to come in here and talk, get your takes off, I'm here for that as well. Thank you, Lil Joel No, riding this high all week. Let's go. I'm taking this right into the 4-0. We're starting this year 4-0. Put that on record. Put my name on that. Got some things to tell you guys. Got some things to talk about. Got some takes to get off from the game. My man Devin, I see you in here. Let me get you added in just a few minutes. But got a story to tell you guys. I got robbed on Bourbon Street the other night. That was pretty crazy. Let's talk through that. And then I got a little nugget, a little info that I have learned that we'll maybe share here in a little bit. But do me a favor, hit the share button. Let's get this thing out. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, all those things. If you really like the content, you can hit the share button. We certainly appreciate that. Again, we'll try and do this for as long as my voice can hold up. Oh, sound like a completely different person. Again, if you were in New Orleans and your voice doesn't sound like mine, you're the one with the problem, not me. Yesterday was a fun day. This was a fun weekend. We had a ton of fun out there. We came away with the win, which is what was most important. Let's talk about the game a little bit, and I'll tell you guys a story. Listen, I'm not making a joke when I say I got robbed. The reason I didn't have my phone yesterday is because I got my phone taken. Couldn't upload nothing to Twitter. Couldn't talk about the tailgate, which was absolutely on fire. Man, we almost had 300-400 people there. It was just ridiculous. I put pictures of it up. If you go to the Double Fries account and scroll back a little bit through the media, you can see the pictures. So, but anyway, let's get after it. Let's talk about this game. Picked up something big out of this game, man. All week long, all we heard going into this game was who was going to cover those wide receivers and who was going to block that defensive line. That's all we heard. I even said it. My biggest two concerns was our offensive line and was our secondary. They didn't look like a concern last night to me. They didn't look like a concern at all. Let me tell you something about this SEC defensive lines. Both of my lines were better than theirs. Both of them. My defensive line, pressure all night. Jared Verse. That kid. Jared Verse. Mike Norvell looks like he hit again at defensive end. I'm not going to go outlandish. I'm not the outlandish outlet. Y'all know where to find that. But Mike Norvell looks like he hit pretty big on this defensive end again. Not going to say it's as good, right? I'm not going to put him above a first rounder yet. But that kid has more talent, man. He might be the most talented player. Let me look at. He might be the most talented player in 10 of the 12 games we play this year, and maybe all 12. See what he can do. Mike Norvell with a massive hit with Jared Verse. A lot of people. Well, I don't know why so many people were down on Ontario Wilson. Pokey was the MVP of the game. Did he catch that touchdown that he got interfered with on the same exact? Was that not shades of 99 with P-Dub? Pokey Wilson was the best receiver in the game. All you heard about all week was who was going to cover their wide receivers. How are we going to stop Boutte? How are we going to block that defensive line? Florida State was excellent at both of those. There was a point with 9 minutes to go in the game that LSU didn't have 100 yards rushing or passing. Florida State's defense was lights out, and they should have been up by more if you make a field goal, if you convert on a fourth down, or if you go for a field goal. Hindsight's 20/20 there. Florida State dominated this game. I thought in the fourth quarter, with about 9 minutes to go, when we were up by 14, they got two absolute gifts when it comes to penalties. I thought that roughing was terrible. I thought that late hit was awful. And I thought the DPI after that was even worse. That DPI, the late hit, I thought he held up. And I thought he tried to stop. But if you want to say he did make contact and the quarterback went down, you want to call that, that's fine with me. The DPI was so bad. It gave him 30 free yards on that drive. Bend don't break. We broke. They scored late. Florida State special teams, I thought did a pretty good job. Obviously recovered 2 muffed punts, blocked 2 field goals. Special teams was a concern after Duquesne. Didn't really look like much of a concern last night. You certainly want to make your field goals, right? That was a long one. I honestly didn't have a lot of confidence. No disparaging the kid, but I didn't have a lot of confidence when he was lining up for that. It was 47 yards, 45 yards, something like that. I don't think I was too shocked that he missed that. But Florida State dominated this game. Florida State also dominated the crowd. That was not – it was 50-50, but that was not close. Florida State's fans showed out for 3 straight days in New Orleans. It's not super shocking. I think we talked about this on Saturday morning. It's not super shocking that there weren't a ton of LSU fans out on Bourbon Street on Friday night like there were FSU fans. Saturday, it was still pretty packed at FSU. Sunday, there was just as many FSU fans as there were LSU. And FSU fans were much, much, much louder. Now, FSU fans had more to cheer for, but you can thank the team for that. If you're watching on YouTube, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share. You can utilize the super chat. Yeah, my big takeaway, my big realization here is exactly what Seminoles wrote about in his article. Would Florida State start to win close? Because we lose that game last year. There's no way. That game goes to overtime and we lose. That's just what happens. Florida State's lines were better than an SEC team. Florida State's quarterback was better than an SEC team. Florida State's wide receivers were better than an SEC team. Florida State's special team. I don't know. Was there one? Okay, so here I go through everything. Was there one facet of the game that LSU was better in? You certainly don't like that Florida State allowed a team to go 99 yards in like a minute. But when you look at the totality of the game, Florida State dominated this thing. How about the ACC this week? Is the ACC just terrible? What? Are y'all watching this Clemson game? Again, sorry for the voice, but yours hopefully sounds a lot like mine. The ACC sucks. Boston College, some of y'all were worried about that game? No offense to my guy Jake in here, but Rutgers? Y'all were worried about Boston College. They got 2 players. Sorry. The more excited I get, the more the voice goes. They got 2 players, and that team sucks. We're not losing to that team. Louisville? And I was worried about Louisville. I'm not going to give y'all too much grief about that one. I actually said the Louisville game would be tougher than the LSU game. I don't necessarily think it'll be closer. I don't think it'll be a 1-point game. But Louisville? 31 points to Syracuse? I told you that was an interesting spread. I told you that being a 4-point spread definitely interested me. Why was that spread so close? Why did Vegas tell you guys that game was going to be closer than we all thought? 31-7? I am very interested for us to watch Louisville as a family on Friday night when they travel down here to Orlando to play UCF, see how that one goes. But you beat Louisville. You're starting this year 4-0. How many people had 4-0 on the schedule? Especially considering how last year started. FSU fans deserved this. We deserve this. Just to let you guys know. I mean, you can like the team, you can like the coach, you can not like it doesn't matter. We deserved a night like last night. I'll tell you one more thing, and then I'll get Devin on here. I'll shout out Garnet and Gold. I'll give a couple of I'll give a couple more thoughts, and then we'll let you guys kind of take off with the show. I wanted to go on a rant to start. Oh, I gotta tell you guys a story, and then we'll get out of here. But in 2006, Florida won the national championship, right? And then LSU, Florida again, then Alabama. 2010 was Auburn. 2011 was Alabama. 2012 was Alabama. Seven SEC championships in a row. Florida State breaks the streak in 2013. My favorite thing about this weekend is that heading into last night, the SEC was 13-0. Florida picked up a big win. Arkansas picked up a big win. Georgia is so reloaded, it's not funny. But the SEC was 13-0 going into last night. Florida State beats the streak again. Shout out to Garnet and Gold. Shout out to Gramco, who were both out of the tailgate yesterday. Garnet and Gold was out of the tailgate incognito, but they were there. Gramco absolutely hooked it up. The tailgate was amazing. If you guys haven't seen the videos, we've got a bunch of content coming out with the tailgate. You guys are going to love it. If you're in Tallahassee, if you're going to Clemson, if you're going to Florida, if you're going to any of the roll-up tailgate events, they're a ton of fun, man. We had a blast. You ask anybody that was there, they'll tell you how on fire that thing was. Appreciate Gramco. No, I'm not. I haven't been smoking, y'all. Just my voice is gone. Relax with this. Gramco absolutely hooked it up. They were fantastic. They had brownies out there. They had the vapes. They had the gummies. Had all of it. Shout out Gramco. You can go to gramco.com. TJ25 will save you 25% at checkout. Got a lot more coming with them. Want to shout out Garnet and Gold as well. You ought to be celebrating. If you haven't already geared up and you're not already all laced up and geared up and everything else, support Garnet and Gold. Go get your Jordan Travis t-shirt, best quarterback in the state. Support their NIL. Spaces 15 will save you 15% off at garnetandgold.com. I want to give one more shout out, and then I'll tell you guys a story. Some of you guys know, and you may see, again, I know that you probably get enough of one TJ in your feed that you don't want another one. Some of you guys may know TJ Salamone. His company has been offering NIL deals to FSU student athletes like Jordan Travis, AJ Duffy. They've got more in the pipeline. TJ is a huge FSU supporter. His company is a supporter of not only our boosters, but our student athletes. So I want to give a big shout out to TJ and his company. I'm going to throw a tweet up from them in the top of the space. If you guys just go follow them, they're not trying to sell you anything. They're not trying to, got to go buy anything there. They're just good people that help out our Seminoles. So you ought to go ahead and make sure that you give them a follow. All right, let's tell you guys this story about Bourbon Street. Oh, my trip, I was about to come home on Saturday night. I'm not even kidding. So I'm walking down Bourbon Street with my buddy, and it's 1 a.m. This is the part, I guess, where you're supposed to share this so that more people can come listen to the clickbait without having to listen to my rant on the front end. But I'm walking down Bourbon Street with a buddy. This guy bumps into my buddy, and they start to get into it, right? And I'm just like, hey man, you gotta be stronger than this. You gotta have a cooler head. You can't do this right now. But he's ready to fight, man. It's Bourbon Street at 1 a.m. He was partaking in some libations. And so I end up pulling him off. His buddies end up pulling him, the other guy off. Break it up, no big deal. And I looked at my buddy. We were heading to the casino with some other guys. And I said, hey man, let me get you a cab. Let me get you an Uber home. You need to go home. You need to chill out. I think you've had enough for tonight. And he's like, yeah, you're right. I should. Sorry. He's like, I'm not trying to embarrass you. And I was like, no, you're fine. You don't embarrass me, man. I get it. That guy was just being a jerk. So I get my buddy an Uber home, and the group didn't really see it's busy on Bourbon Street. The group didn't really see like the whole altercation, so they just kept walking. So it was just me and my buddy, but we were about 2 blocks from Canal Street. If you know Bourbon Street well, you're 2 blocks from Canal, and then like 2-3 more blocks to the casino. It's not like it's super far. I wasn't down way on the other end of Bourbon Street or on some side street or anything like that. Pretty well lit, almost to Bourbon and Canal, and lit in a couple of ways. But so end up walking a few more. He gets the Uber. Takes about 5 minutes. I text the group, hey, I'm on my way. I just got my buddy a Uber. I'll be there in just a minute. And I'm almost to Canal, and I just felt like a boom in my chest, like somebody like hit me right in the chest. And my phone flies out of my hand. I fall backwards. This dude picks up my phone and just starts sprinting the other way. And I am just like, nah, dog. This isn't. I gotta be way too hammered. This did not just happen. What was I gonna do? I'm gonna chase this dude down Bourbon Street at 1 a.m. hammered. Just count as a loss, man. Like sometimes you just gotta shake your head and keep going. So didn't have a phone all day Friday night. Fortunately, I don't know if he wants a real shot or not, but fortunately, FSU attorney that y'all don't know, he's not on social media or anything like that, but he happened to be walking by, saw it all happen, got me an Uber. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was pretty shook. I was like this close. If you're listening on Spaces, you can't see this, but I was like this close to just getting a plane ride home, man. But I pulled myself together. I wasn't trying to be a baby about it, but that'll shake you a little bit. Pulled myself together, slept it off, and got up at 8 a.m. and fried a bunch of chicken for the tailgate, man. It is what it is, right? Life goes on. I'll buy a new phone. I'm using if you're watching on YouTube, I'm using my wife's work phone. So I got a pink phone over here that I'm using to do Spaces. So I couldn't do Spaces last night after the game. Y'all know that's what I was most upset, that I couldn't do Spaces because you can't do Spaces from the desktop. I'll buy a new phone. Some people gave me a little bit of money here and there at the tailgate yesterday. Phones are not cheap, just to let you guys know. But some people gave me, here's $10, here's $5, a little chip in here and there to help with that cost a little bit. So I appreciate those people. But man, we had a good time at the tailgate. I'm glad that I didn't come home. I didn't want to be that big of a baby. But we had a good time at the tailgate. Like I said, there had to be 300-400 people out there, man. It was insane. We had so much fun. Enjoyed ourselves. I'll buy a new phone sometime this week, y'all. If you need my Venmo, just hit my DMs and you can send $5 for the phone. But yeah, wild times, man. Don't walk down Bourbon Street alone. That's a lesson I gotta learn. But I wasn't, just trying to do the right thing, like get my guy an Uber. I guess I should just told the Uber. This was their fatal mistake. I should have told the Uber to take me to the casino first and then him home. But I was like, it's 2 blocks. Like it ain't that big of a deal. It was that big of a deal. Last thing I've got, and then we'll get some people on here to talk. Appreciate you guys listening. Again, hit the share button, hit subscribe if you're on YouTube. But I do have a little nugget, little thing I learned today. Actually, no, within the last couple of days. Now I heard that a certain 5-star wide receiver was just living the absolute time of his life last night. And I'm not Zach. I'm not Josh. I'm not any of these guys. I'm not making predictions, but I really like where Florida State stands right now. I'm not putting in a prediction. This is not a crystal ball moment. But I think Big Daddy Mike's about to stuff some people in the locker. So keep your eyes peeled on that. This is not the Dr. Staples situation of good news coming soon, but I guess this is my good news coming soon. So we'll see. We'll see if anything comes of that. So, all right, let's get some people in here to talk. I'm done talking. Oh, my guy Devin yesterday absolutely killed it DJing at this tailgate. I felt like I was getting on Devin's nerves because I just kept asking about playing the war chant. But everywhere I would turn, somebody else would say, hey, man, can you make him play the war chant again? So I just look at Devin, I give him a chop, He turned it back on. Devin, how you doing, man? Bro, say it again. I can't hear you. Devin, you might have to. You good? You're on the road. All right, just shoot me a text. Oh, well, you ain't gonna shoot me a text. Shoot me a DM. I'll get you back on here. Yo, I can't hear Devin, my man. All right. Let's grab Logan. I got Seymour up here. Is Clemson struggling with Georgia Tech tonight?
It looks like that.
What's up, Logan? Are you at a bar?
Oh, no, I'm stepping outside. I'm good. How are y'all doing tonight?
It's loud as heck, man. You're better now. I'm good, man. I'm good.
I'm good.
What you got?
I just want to first off say, let's fucking go.
I'm here for that.
Damn, we needed that game. We need that fucking game. And all my concerns about this team, the fight and how they're going to play and respond, not completely evaporated, but I got a lot of confidence. And if they just keep cleaning things up, I think this team's just going to keep getting better. Really glad we came out healthy. Feels good to feel good about Florida State football again. I don't want to get too carried away, but I think the season would be just what we needed back like in 2010 and 2011. So that's all I got. Love all the Noles. Love seeing y'all turn up down there in New Orleans. Wish I could have been in there with y'all. I had some friends down there who said it was absolutely electric. So hell yeah, way to go, guys, and have a good night.
I appreciate you, my man. I'll see you in a couple weeks in Louisville. Oh, man, I didn't know he was going to come off speaker there. All right, Devin, let me get you back in here real quick. Let's see if I can get Devin in here. Devin, you can hear me?
I got you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, much better.
All right, cool.
You driving home?
Yeah, I'm like 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
So I just got really drunk, and it was at the point where like everyone was coming up to tell me like to play something. So yeah, I was a little aggravated. It wasn't necessarily like at you. It was just like everybody kept telling me to come up and play stuff.
Now you ain't gotta listen to nobody there but me, bro. You just play that war chant on blast, bro. It don't matter. It's like the war chant, another song. War chant, another song. War. It doesn't matter what that other one is, man.
Can I cuss on here? Because I got a little quick story to say.
Yeah, let's go, bro. I don't usually, but I mean it's 9 o'clock, right? Like
this is needed. So I'm sitting there DJing, and this LSU. So to paint the picture for anyone who wasn't there, right across the street was the LSU tailgate, but there somehow was still LSU people at our tailgate. So I'm playing the war chant, playing the fight song, and this LSU fan comes up to me and is like, "Yo, can you play neck?" I was like, "No." The other tailgate's right across the street. Like, what are you talking about? He looks at me and he flicks me off and he says, "Fuck you." Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. Probably a good thing I didn't, man. I wasn't in my right mind.
If anyone who was there heard my rant on the mic, and I basically told him, I was like, I have this idiot LSU fan behind me. Excuse me, sir, but fuck you. Go Noles. I was fucking hammered at that point. But I had an absolute blast. Thank you so much for letting me come out there. I definitely would love to do it again at the Clemson tailgate. As far as the game, though, I think you were so spot on. There was not one facet of the game that we did not dominate. And I'm just so proud of FSU just as a whole. The fan base, the team, the coaches. We showed up. We fucking showed out. This is the biggest win of Norvell's career. He needed this, a statement win. And I still feel like I'm riding this high right now. It feels fucking amazing.
Bro, the team wasn't perfect. I'm going to say that. I do agree we were better in every facet of the game than them. All the way from coaching down to special teams and everything in between. Offensive line, defensive line, wide receiver, all that. Every part of it. Kick an extra point. But I would rather learn lessons in wins, bro. I would rather learn lessons in wins. And Seminoles called it. Is this the time that Florida State wins small? Week 1, week 0 win. Week 1 it was. Let's go see if they can do it against Louisville, man. Bro, you were amazing yesterday. I really appreciate it. The vibes were insane at that tailgate. It was like standing room only. Like there was no – it was shoulder to shoulder, man. I felt like I was at Ken's. If you know, you know. But, Devin, I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Go Noles.
Go Noles. Little different vibes than Ken's. I will say that. If you don't know what Ken's is, you're probably a little too old, and you just won't know. But a little different vibes than Ken's, but that's what it felt like. Okay, Seymour. Seymour, what I've heard, people told me that if we won this game, you were going to be respectful to Mike for the rest of the year. I couldn't find any tweets, but that's what the people told me you said.
I said that I was going to lay off Mike's ass, and I did say that, man. I want to first off say that, man, you know, I was very impressed with the game plan that they had. I was very impressed with majority of the play calling. But my thing that, you know, TJ, I want to just ask your opinion. Like, I'm sick of when are we going to stop? When is he going to stop making the critical errors and like the learning on the fly shit that is not always going to let us fly through? That's like I know you had to notice some of you're a football guy, and you know a lot of times people.
So what specifically? Because I will say this: I am a football guy.
Two things,
but I was also a little bit sauced. So you gotta just tell me straight.
All right, three things. Me personally, as a football coach, up 7-3 going into the half. I kicked the ball going up 10-3 going into the half, knowing I'm getting it back at the half. Especially with my offense moving the ball, it's not like I'm at a point where this might be my only opportunity to score in the game. Do you agree?
So why I think they didn't, I just don't think they had now. In a perfect world, yes. I don't think they have the confidence in. Let me just scroll real quick.
Well, they were at the 16 at that point, the 47-yarder. If it would have been, another 40-yard kick, I understand. But we were at the 16-yard line at that point.
Yeah, I've heard, and I wanted to scroll real quick because I know these kids listen and stuff. But I've heard that he has not had a very good camp, even from close. Like there's just been a lot of inconsistency there. And so I think with anyone else, like Roberto, that's 3 free points. So I think the risk reward there is like, if you miss that, if you get the touchdown and you score 14 on both sides, because like you said, you were moving the ball. So like getting 2 yards. Now, I didn't really like the play call there, but I do like the idea of going for that. So like the play call, I might give you a little lean, but like I liked going for it. But I'm okay disagreeing there. I'm okay. I mean, that's fine. I don't think that was detrimental. Though.
The pitch on second down, under a minute, when all you have to do is hand the ball out twice, force them to use the timeouts, and once again, you're at the 2-yard line. Regardless, you have 2 more plays, so that would have burned all the timeouts, right? They would have had no timeouts. They would have got the ball back under 20 seconds. You'd have still had the opportunity to kick 3, make it a 2-possession game, and at worst case, even if you miss it there, they don't even have any timeouts with maybe 15 seconds left to go 99 yards.
Yeah, I didn't love the call to pitch it. I will say hindsight's pretty 20/20 there. And if he
on a fullback belly
with a linebacker, shout out DJ Lundy.
Exactly.
I do think so. Here's where I'm not going to disagree with you, but I do think hindsight's pretty 20/20 there. If he catches that ball he walks in the end zone. So there's got to be a little bit of accountability. Just like you're giving Mike a hard time, we got to have some accountability for these players too. Like players got to execute.
I agree with that, but it's a coach's job to put them in the best position to be successful.
And
take that risk out.
Yeah, I mean, it's
a riskful play.
It is, but would it have been worth the risk if he caught it and walked it in?
But why do we continue to take risks when you can just hand the ball off?
So what did you like that Norvell did? Let's give him okay. So I got your complaints. You got to give him some love though. You can't come on here and go one way.
That we stay committed to the run. I love the fact that Atkins is the OC because he hid the fact that Bless Harris was out. He called plays that were successful for his offensive line. You could tell that they were calling the game based on the what the offensive line could do and not putting them in situations to be unsuccessful. like a lot of what Dillingham did. Like, I love that. I love the fact that all the plays that we ran, none of them were really on film. It was a completely different game plan. It wasn't anything that was shown last year or in the Duquesne game. I love that. I love the fact that, we had a balanced attack. We didn't really run J-Trav a lot unless we had to. I love that. I love
Seymour. I loved his play calling on third down. I thought his play calling on third down, some of the sweeps that we ran, some of the stuff that got Jordan out on the edge. Man, let me tell you something. Jordan Travis is like, he's the best quarterback in the state. I'm gonna fight that battle.
He might be the best damn quarterback in the ACC. I'll up that.
Bro, he is legitimate. So, but look, I'm gonna get to some more. But I appreciate you, Seymour. You keep it a buck. You had some things you didn't like. Hey, like I said right before you came on, I'd rather learn those things than a win. I think he coached better. If you say he had 2 detrimental mistakes, I'm not gonna disagree with that. I thought Brian Kelly had a lot of detrimental mistakes. There's a lot of things that LSU did wrong, and so not gonna be perfect. Well, I thought he did more good than bad. I think we would all agree on that last night.
I agree with that, man. I'm just at the point where it's like, when is he going to stop learning on the fly?
Next week. I got you next week. Next week, I'm going to have a talk with him. I hope.
All right, cool.
I hope. All right, 2-0, baby. Stay off his ass. Stay off his ass tonight.
Baby.
All right, baby. Oh, whoops. Oh, there we go.
TJ's still drunk.
It was relax. Yeah, I mean, somebody just tagged me in a tweet. Yeah, there was a pitch play to Philly just the series before. I think it was on like a 2nd and 8, which got like 6 yards and set up a really short 3rd and 2. I get it. That is a risky play. That's a more risky play than just hand it off. It's not wrong, but you got to get on the players a little bit to execute, I think, sometimes too. Like, that's just got to be a thing. My guy Kraken messaged me. Kraken's the man, bro. We went to his bar, 12 Mile Limit. If you're ever in New Orleans and you want to get off the beaten path and you want to get off the Bourbon Street vibe, 12 Mile Limit is a phenomenal bar. 2 miles off Bourbon Street. Great bartenders, great service. Kraken's the man. He hosted us on Saturday night. The softball girls stopped by. Shout out Michaela Edenfield, Kaylee Harding, and Allison Royalty, new transfer. They were there. They were hanging out heavy. Kraken also opened up his buddy's restaurant so that me and him could fry some chicken, and my guy Harlan could fry some chicken for the tailgate. We took out 2 huge, massive plates of chicken. We had some jambalaya out there. When people do good things for you, you like to do good things back for them. I got a couple of last-second tickets late. Had a couple people to DM me asking for tickets. I'm sorry, I didn't have my phone, and I didn't really find anything until the last second. But I gave Kraken my tickets, got to sit it. Bro, go to a game with Kraken. That ought to be on your bucket list. That's some crazy stuff. All right, Realtor Mike, what's going on, my man?
What's going on? Hey, man, go Noles. We got a few observations. I can appreciate what Seymour was saying about the pitch. Like you said, though, I think it's hindsight 2020. We're having success with the play. He's feeling like Toafili's got a hot hand there. I mean, you go for it. Sure, we look back and go, well, that was stupid. But I would have gone for it.
Yeah.
I also agree with you that going into the halftime, man, I don't know if I have that trust in the kicker. We were moving the ball so well. You go for it. You go for it. That's confidence in your players and your team. Even if you don't get it, you're showing your team that confidence. You have the faith in their ability to get it done. So I was down with that. How many drop passes could have made that a blowout? I'm not feeling bad about our wideouts. I think we got a 6'7", 260-pound receiver, and we need to throw him the jump ball. I mean, go back to Benjamin, put it up in the air, let him pluck it out of the sky, and make some plays that way in the end zone.
I'm with it. I wonder if it had to do with him not being 100% healthy, if they thought that him like kind of getting that lift wouldn't be the same. And I'm not trying to excuse it, but yeah, that needs to be part of this offense pretty consistently.
I mean, once these guys, once they hold on to that ball, they're going to be dangerous. That's going to open up the run lanes more. I thought the run game was good against that D line, but could be better when we open up the pass play a little more.
Yeah.
And then my last is, man, that prevent defense reminded me of the days when Jimbo was hyper conservative and we'd be, comfortably leading and, toss the game. Can we knock that out of the playbook or what?
Yeah, it almost felt like they're 99 yards. There's no way they're going to have enough time. And so, man, we just played so far off. And we were crushing them all night, right? But before that drive where they got 30 yards on penalties, we had held them to less than 100 yards rushing and less than 100 yards passing. And so I understand they scored on that drive after we gave them half the field in penalties, or the refs did. Those were two terrible calls. But, man, yeah, that – I think he broke contain once, right? Got a long run off. That got him out to like the 30. I haven't had a chance to rewatch the game because I had no phone coming home. But, I feel like there was a long run off and then there just a couple underneath things. But, man, in college football where that clock stops. Also, I don't understand how – I understand that because they reviewed it on the last play, the clock would have stopped because of a review. But that's not how it works. Like if you would have not screwed that up, right? Like if the ref made a mistake by calling him out of bounds. And so because the ref made a mistake, they got one more play. There's no way they've gotten it up in time and gotten that spiked with 1 second left or gotten the playoff. I just don't understand that. I mean, that's really a technicality thing because you shouldn't have given up 97 yards before that 2-yard, touchdown at the end. But I just didn't understand that. I didn't understand how that was the ruling that was come away with there. So I also was, several deep, so maybe that was a lot of it.
There was a mention by the TV announcers about a 10-second runoff based on a review, and it was mentioned by one of the rules folks in there. There was no more talk about it, but it would have been interesting to see if that should have applied, a 10-second runoff and the game. You hate that we were in the position to worry about that, and it goes back to that getting conservative on defense. Our defense was so successful the whole game at holding them, and we just got super conservative and let them march down the field, and that was a little frustrating.
Yeah, I also wonder if Fabo not being in there at the end was some of that, that pressure from that D line. Yeah, I don't want to say it was all that. Those guys were gassed.
All in all, I'm smoking a cigar for Atkins right now. Fuller played to the talent of the players that we have, and man, that I think we, compared to the past several years, man, we are loaded, and these guys, they're all in, and I love it. So go Noles.
Team's in a much better spot than I think we've seen them in the last 5 years, right? Norvell's going to get at least as many. Well, no, he did that last year. I was going to say Norvell's going to get as many wins as Jimbo did his last year, but he did that last year with 5. So, Mike, I appreciate you, my man. Somebody asked about, are we worried about Malik Cunningham? Are we worried about Malik running, being able to contain? Last night, Malik Cunningham ran 13 times for 34 yards on Syracuse. I'm sorry, 2 nights ago. If you take the sacks out, I looked him up real quick. He had 3 sacks for 13 yards. So you could really say he ran 10 times for 47. I mean, I don't know. We Jaden broke contain a few times last night. I think that's a big takeaway for the defense. I think Malik Cunningham's better in the air than Jaden is, and so I don't think he'll look to run as much. But we were getting such heavy pressure that we told you guys this. We told you that Jaden Daniels is not a good quarterback. Nobody should be shocked by this. The kid stinks. He can't throw. He's got 5 stars everywhere as far as talent goes. And I told you that was a good thing if he started. I told LSU fans every time we did a space that we were going to win the quarterback battle. That was the battle I was least worried about. I was worried about our offensive line. I was worried about their defensive line. I was worried about our secondary. I was worried about our running backs. Would they be able to do it against a team that wasn't named Duquesne? But I wasn't worried about quarterback. Not one bit. Malik Cunningham's a little bit better of a passer to me. And so I don't think he'll just take off. Now, but we did put on film that we lose contain on quarterbacks some. And Jaden Daniels is a dynamic athlete. I don't think it's super shocking that he was able to do some crazy things. But that is something I'd say I'm a little bit worried about. But you can't lose to a team that just got blown out by Syracuse. I mean, come on. This is almost a must-win to me because of the opportunity it represents. You win this one, you're starting the year 4-0. Anybody scared of Wake even with Hartman at that point? You still like you really worried about Wake at that point? I mean, I don't really want to see Hartman. I'd love for him to come back the week after. But if this team's beating Jaden Daniels and Malik Cunningham and Phil Jerkovich, BC has a better wide receiver than Wake does. More talent on the outside. Flowers. I don't know. I ain't worried about Wake. Also, I mean, we so scared. I mean, I don't like going to Raleigh. Let me get you added here, my man, Lil Joel Noel. I don't like going to Raleigh, but y'all scared of NC State after that ECU game? Line that up, bro. Line that up. NC State's defensive line ain't as good as LSU's. And my offensive line looked great last night. So line that up, NC State. What's up, my man?
What's going on?
I'm living.
Like you said, still riding that high, man. I'm with you. I ain't mad with Mike letting it hang there at halftime. You gotta come out and establish, and we had established the whole game. So, let that go. Kicker being what he's doing, it is what it is. But, we're 2-3 drops away from that game, just not even being close. Pittman dropped one. Cam was 25, 30 yards down on a third down that should have caught that, I mean, just a couple key plays in that game. That last minute doesn't really matter, that pitch on the 2-yard line with 1:10 left, it doesn't really matter. But overall, super excited. Wish I would have gotten over to New Orleans to go to the game. I was at Notre Dame last year, but I live up in North Alabama, so getting down, I gotta move some things around. But I am going to Louisville in 2 weeks, so I'm excited about that one.
I can't wait, brother. Hit me up when you're there, man. It should be a great time.
Hell yeah, go Noles.
Go Noles, baby. Y'all, I got Seymour and then the anti-Seymour people arguing in my DM, in my mentions, but somebody put in there that Danny Cannell tweet. That Danny Cannell tweet is pretty funny. Danny's a funny guy. He is a volume troller. I will say that. Reminds me a lot of myself. But Danny just tries to get off like as many trolls as he can and see which ones stick. Not a lot. Don't share this with Danny, y'all. But not a lot of Danny's trolls stick. He's pretty corny with some of that SEC stuff. I'm all for ragging on the SEC. But what's the old saying? If you come at the king, you can't miss. I mean, SEC's the king right now. So, Danny's trolls don't always get off. But that toss to Dunn, I mean, that's funny. I'll give him that. Give Danny a little love. I'll give anybody a little love. I'll give Seymour love. I mean, I love Seymour. We don't agree, but that's fine. Let him get his takes off. What's up, Andre? You was jealous all weekend. The softball girls were hanging out heavy, wasn't you?
Man, you get on my damn nerves.
Yo.
I just come to say, where are all those, I'm going to say it, motherfucking couch experts? JG, he can't do this. He's limited. He's hit his ceiling. It's only so much he can do. Hey, kiss JT ass. Kiss Jordan Travis ass. Because all you out there is talking, he's hit his ceiling, he's this, he's that, he's limited, he can't read, he can't do this, he can't do that. Motherfucker balled out, was like, what? Took a hit to the chops, got up, pounded his chest, like, motherfucker, what? That's all I got to say.
I'll tell you, he looked better than that generational quarterback they got 2 hours east.
Hey, look, he looked better than no, I'm gonna leave that dude alone. I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna hold my peace right there. I'm gonna hold my peace. But I'll say this: the kids looked like they was laying out there for each other. They was going broke for each other, and that's what I needed to see. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, like, they trusted everybody. They was all in sync, man. And that damn that Bethune, him and Deloach, they're gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a problem.
I love the way the defense held. I could tell from the very beginning when we held them and forced them to a field goal. I could tell that the defense had brought it. I didn't love them getting drove down on that first drive. A lot of scripted stuff. That's fine. A lot of runs, but I love the way that they held them there at the beginning and then really held them for most of the rest of the game. They were very impressive last night.
We just got to clean up that we got to rush with a purpose. Just can't just pin your ears back and ball out whatever because they missing lanes. They coming out of lane assignment. When they rush under control, hey, ain't nothing they can do with it, man.
Yeah. You're not wrong, my man. You're not wrong.
Well, brother, look here. Go ahead and drink your nothing before you go to bed, man. Get your voice back tomorrow. And go Noles, brother.
I love it, man. I love it.
All right, man.
See you, buddy.
Yeah.
I am going to throw up a tweet in the top of the space. I said I would do this earlier, and then I went on too long of a rant and didn't get it done. But I threw up a tweet in the top of the space from AJ Duffy. AJ is partnering with my guy TJ Salamone of Salamone Digital Marketing. They support our FSU NIL efforts. They've done deals with both AJ and Jordan. Give them a follow. Give both TJ and the business account a follow. Appreciate them. Appreciate their support of not only the space, but FSU athletics. Let's go here. Lowski. We got Lorenzo 19. Loyalty over everything. What's up, my man? How you doing? You're on mute, though. Oh, he's out of here. He had enough of talking to me. All right, what question? Let's go through some questions here. If you're on the YouTube and let's see here. Behind Clemson, we probably have the best linebacking duo. I like that. They said Stephen A. Smith was hating us on us big time. Stephen A. Smith is a talking head on ESPN. Anybody that takes him seriously. No, I ain't gonna say that. Anybody that takes Stephen A. Smith seriously should not. His show that he's been on for years has literally been used as clickbait so that y'all will tune in and share his stuff. So y'all are doing a good job with that. Whoever, the folks on YouTube hating on Stephen A. Smith. I like it. I think he's a good guy, though. I just, he just says stuff to get y'all to click on his stuff. Yeah, y'all should be used to that as Florida State fans, though. I ain't the first person to try and get y'all to do that. Boy, I'm gonna get in trouble. All right, Thomas, come save me before I say something I'm not supposed to. I like that shepherd in your profile pic or your bio or whatever. What's up, Thomas? Y'all mute, my man. No, Thomas fell off. Maybe the spaces are broken. We broke the spaces. Logan says, I know the ACC does look like, it was Shannon and Skip. Yeah. All they do is they're just trying to get y'all to share their stuff, man. But it works. I mean, like I said, it works. I know the ACC looks terrible, but everyone gives FSU their best, as well as more film will accumulate as the season goes on. 9 wins if we stay healthy. Listen, I said, let me add Max here. Max won something from Garnet and Gold. Shout out Garnet and Gold, man. I love these giveaways. Y'all going to have to keep doing those all year because we're undefeated with those giveaways. So go ahead and get your Louisville scores in, folks. I was going for 2 weeks. Max, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, TJ? How you doing, man?
You back on Bourbon Street?
Oh, man, not today, but yesterday I went straight to Bourbon Street. I actually jumped on the back of the trunk of a truck of an LSU fan, man. He took me all the way to Bourbon Street after the game.
Yeah, I like it. Yo,
I was excited, man. I put 24 as a prediction for FSU, and I was confident Florida State was going to win, man. Travis looks great. He looks different, and the offense is just looking real good. So I'm excited for the whole entire rest of the games.
Man, are you going? What's the next game you're going to?
I'm looking at going to maybe the Clemson game. Not get something going. You never know.
Man, they don't. I mean, like you said, everybody gets our best, or everybody gives us their best, but they ain't lighting on fire right now against old Georgia Tech, are they? So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. But anyways, go Noles. Love you guys, and thanks for doing these spaces, TJ.
Love you, man. Come by the tailgate when we do Clemson, bro.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you, my man. Max out there winning the Garnet and Gold stuff. I don't even guess in these. First of all, I think I'd be wrong anyway. But second of all, like I feel like it'd be a bad look if I won it. But I'm jealous of you guys that can predict scores accurately. Hey, I had 27-24. I don't feel that bad about that. We make that field goal. Yeah. Talk myself into thinking I'm smarter than I am. Lowski, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? Go Noles, big W, love it. I just think the defensive line looks a little slow. It was like we're a half a second late getting to the quarterback. I don't think that's going to change. I think that's probably where we're going to be at, maybe with the defensive line. And I was wondering, where do you think we line up with the most blocked field goals in the last 3 years? Like that, we have to be at least top 5.
Man, so with the roll up, well, here, yeah, I'll say this, and we'll go back to the defensive line. But yeah, with the roll up, the roll up is a Florida guy, a Florida State guy, and a Miami guy. So the Miami guy is named Larion. We're hanging out with him all weekend. CJ was there, of course. Uncle Silk was there from the Gators. So, of course, as soon as I saw Larion this morning, he was like, "Yeah, I could not believe the way that they lost that game." And I was like, "It was a little bit triggering for you, though, right? Wasn't it?" from DeMarcus Walker, like you was a little bit shook, and he was like, "Screw you, TJ." So, but I love that, man. I thought the defensive line was like, I don't remember exactly who said it, who exactly made the point, but it was one of you guys here recently. I thought that they were getting upfield, like they got to set the edge a little bit better. I thought that Jared was getting up the field. I thought Cooper was fantastic all night. But it's almost like against that mobile of a quarterback, you can't just pin your ears back and go a million miles an hour. You really gotta set the edge better and keep him from doing that. I also don't know if I don't know. I wasn't coherent enough to see this. I haven't done a rewatch yet. I will before we do Double Fries No Slaw tomorrow. This is more just kind of a not very instant reaction. But yeah, I don't know if we had a spy on much, but I would have think that had been something that would have been installed, and I would think will be before we play Louisville because of how quick Malik is. But where'd you watch the game, man?
No, I watched it from home. Yeah, I didn't head out. I watched it from home.
That's all good. You in Tallahassee?
No, I'm out here in Jersey right now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I had one more thing too. I think this bye week is obviously coming at a perfect time. We gotta definitely heal up in the O line. And what do you think about the Louisville? Like a quick head start. What do you think about that?
Previewing this like 10 days early, but bro, I think they're gonna go win. I think they're gonna go win that game. I like what I saw from the team. I got a hot take for you. I don't know if it's a hot take, though. No, it's not a hot take. Every question that I had about this team has been answered in one game. Now, I'm not saying we're back. I'm not saying this team's never going to lose again. But everything that I was worried about has been answered. Offensive line, with guys out, good. Secondary, against very talented wide receivers, good. Defensive line, Jared Verse. Was he a great take? Was he not? What's he look like? Oh, man, he only got 1 sack against Duquesne. You saw what that guy looked like last night. The effort, the hustle, the special teams, the coaching, all of it. Every question's been answered. Now, again, I'm not saying we're back. I'm not saying everything's good. But every question that I had about the team that I was worried about is no longer there. So we're going to beat Louisville in 2 weeks.
For real, I didn't see him get too much burn.
Bro, I think if guys aren't getting in at this point, I mean, I just think that, the staff is just more confident in other guys in those spots. I'm not trying to.
That guy's looks like a savage. All I heard was good things until the foot injury, right?
Yeah, I mean, coming off of that I don't know if that plays a factor into it or not. I mean, hopefully he can get in at some point and continue to mix things up. Mm-hmm. My man, I appreciate you.
Thanks. Yep. Thanks.
D-Tac. Let me get Dustin in here real quick. Again, how long have we been going? Almost an hour. I thought we were only going to go 30 minutes, but we went a little bit more. If you're watching on YouTube, again, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, hit the like, all those things, comment, super chat, all those fun things. If you're here on the spaces, go follow Salomon Digital Marketing. Threw that up in the top of the space. Dustin, what's good, my man?
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm tired. I'm ready to get off this space and go to sleep. But how are you doing?
Catch me at the end. I'm still running high. I think there's an important question we need to ask, though. How many people are still in here right now? I can't see.
250?
250. Can anybody kick?
Oh, jeez.
Two kicks out. We need to be able to be confident in that.
Yeah, I was more upset, like you just said, about the kickoff out of bounds. Yeah, I wasn't even really upset with the first one, but then we did another one, and I was like,
When I saw the second one, I was like, wait a second, is this a major problem?
right, yeah. And then he missed the field goal too. Didn't someone correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Mastromano kick last year? Like, wasn't he your kickoff guy?
I think so. I was trying to remember because
The roster has it listed.
Like that.
FSU football roster. And so, like, I don't really know why you make a switch like that. Now, obviously, I'm not a football coach, right? So, like, I'll give myself a little bit of credit there. But yeah, let's see. KOS. Yeah, so I don't know. And I'd have to go back and find an old depth chart, and I doubt I'm going to do that right now. But
I mean, Lane Kiffin's out there pulling them out of frat houses. Let's just go find somebody that can kick. Other than that, everything was beautiful. Travis, 10 out of 10 game. I mean, he could not have played that better. I think by the end of the year, outside of Clemson, I think we might have the best front seven in the ACC. I honestly believe that. Like, after watching all the games this first week, this front seven can be dominant. I know everyone's going in hard on LSU's offensive line. I don't know that they're going to play many better defensive fronts. Like, I think people are underestimating how good Florida State's defensive front can be.
I mean, we look at, just off the top of my head, LSU schedule. I mean, Bama.
Alabama, obviously.
And that might be it. Florida's defensive line ain't that good.
No.
Texas A&M? Does A&M have a good one?
They have talent.
Sure. But their defensive line depth isn't there. No. You saw Utah gash them.
Yeah.
Man,
That's the thing. I mean, I don't think people are talking enough about how good that line really played. And, people have been used to us just being complete ass, obviously, for, 5 years now. So they've just kind of been pushing the way Florida State played aside rather than kind of giving them their due. And I think they earned it.
Yeah.
Obviously, still plenty of things to clean up. Too many drop passes. The late hit on the quarterback that gave them an extra set of downs. That gave them that score. Still plenty of things to clean up, but I feel much better about the season, especially now that you see how Jordan Travis played. I mean, if he can keep that up, there's no way we miss a bowl game.
Yeah.
So.
Shoot, you're a third of the way there now.
Yeah.
We have. See. When was the last time we were 2016? Yeah. So, yeah, we were talking. So my big take is that I thought this was a 7-5 team. Looking at the schedule, right, and you got to stay healthy. But I was a big believer. Like, I had both LSU and Louisville as losses, and so
in Louisville, I did not expect to see what happened on Saturday.
No.
And NC State didn't look that good at. No. All I heard all the offseason was NC State could be a big problem. I don't even think that looked like a problem.
No, not at all. And, teams will play, but I think Louisville will get better. I'm very interested to see what they do against UCF this weekend. But I had us at 7-5 with losses against LSU and Louisville. And then I also thought we would lose to Clemson and NC State. And then I thought you'd split with your rivals. And that would be your way to get to 7 wins. I'm up to 8 wins right now.
Yeah.
And if you beat Louisville, I don't know.
I will be curious to see how we do coming off a bye, off of a big win.
Yeah.
Get rid of the big, celebrate now, get rid of the big head, and get back to work.
I like it. Yeah, I like it. Like I think next week you could see, I actually like Florida to win. They're coming off a massive win playing a good Kentucky team next week. I could see Kentucky keeping that closer than it should be. Now, I still think Florida wins that. I'm not predicting Kentucky to win, but I'd much rather have the bye. So I think it's big for the team. Sets up really nice. That week 0, Alfred getting that done. Shout out to the man.
That was big. Yeah. Well, I'll let you get out of here. Just wanted to say go Noles.
Appreciate you, my man.
All right, brother.
See you, buddy.
See you.
If we beat Louisville and start 4-0 by beating BC, and then is it crazy to think you could beat Wake if you're 4-0? With or without Hartman? I don't think it's crazy. I think we probably thought the LSU game would be tougher than the Wake game, right? I mean, we'll see. We'll see as time goes. I don't know what Wake's schedule looks like. But crazy to think you could be 5-0? I don't think it's crazy. I don't know that I'm predicting it just yet. But, I mean, you should be – I think anything less than 4-1 would be a disappointment right now. I don't know. Maybe 4-2. Maybe, Louisville goes out and beats UCF by 30. Maybe we don't think they're as bad as they really are. And then if you get Hartman back, but then you're still 3-2. You started 3-1. I think you got to find a way to beat Wake this year. It's got to be the year you do it. Somebody mentioned Wake's backup looking pretty good against Virginia Military Institute. I'm not going to put a lot of stock into that. I mean, he did, but they play another terrible team this week in Vandy. They play my Liberty Flames after that, so go Flames. Liberty snuck out with a win against Southern Miss. But then they got back-to-back weeks with Clemson and us. I think they'll go 0-2 there to move the record to 3-2. Give me Clemson and Florida State to beat Wake. If Hartman's back, it's going to be tougher, but give me that. If we start out 4-0, we're winning the ACC this year. I like that, Aaron. Aaron with a take there. I like that take. Man, can you imagine going to that Clemson game at 5-1? Say you lose one of these games in this first 4, but then you upset NC State, or you go 5-0 into that game and you lose to NC State. 5-1? Will Florida State be ranked at that point? 15-ish? Clemson's going to be 10-ish, 8-ish? I don't know what the other games are that weekend. I guess I am sitting right here in front of the computer and I can look at it, but does that got a chance to be game day? Alabama, Tennessee, Vandy, Georgia, Clemson, Florida State, Penn State, Michigan, Miami at Virginia Tech, Clemson, Kansas, Oklahoma, LSU at Florida. That could be a big one. Maybe need LSU to drop a couple before that. Clemson, Florida State could be game day this year. Clemson's top 5 and Florida State's hovering around 12-ish. I think ESPN's been looking for a reason to get back to Tallahassee. How many of you guys thought game day was a possibility going into this season? I'm not saying it's a done deal yet. But I don't know that they want to go see the mid bowl between Florida and LSU. See 2 quarterbacks that don't know how to throw. I don't know that that's really what they want to go do. I'd rather just go see one that can't throw in Ungalele. A bunch of y'all are hitting me up in my DMs about the phone, man. I actually do have another phone. I was kind of just being funny. You can take that money and donate to risingspear.com, though, if you wanted to throw me $5-10. I was just kind of being silly. I appreciate y'all that reached out about that. Yesterday, people were just there and they heard about it. So they're like, here's $5. I was like, I'll put it in the beer tank. I gave it to the bartender. But I appreciate you guys. But yeah, take that money and donate to Rising Spear if you want to help me out. That'd be a great way to do it. We're signing up to be a booster. Boosters.fsu.edu. What other questions do we got? We got anything else before we get out of here? We finally got a huge number on the YouTube side. Are we ranked? Are we ranked right now? Well, not right now, but tomorrow when it comes out. I don't know. How'd the top 25 do yesterday? We'll look at that and then we'll get out of here. How was the top 25 yesterday? Who lost that shouldn't have? Did anybody lose like kind of close to the end of the road? That's usually what it comes down to, right? Like Wake was 22, they won. Yeah, a couple teams in the top lost, but Utah's not going to fall far enough to matter. NC State was 13. They didn't look good. I expect them to drop, but they're not going to drop by much. Wisconsin was 18. They won. Cincinnati was 23. They lost. They'll fall. They'll fall out. Houston was 24. They barely beat UTSA. I don't know that they fall, though, because they won. BYU put it on South Florida. They were 25. I just don't think enough teams are going to fall out for it to happen. Is it possible? They have to drop a couple teams that lost, I think. I mean, Florida's going to be ranked. They beat a top 7 team, and they had more votes than us anyway. So I don't think Florida State's ranked after this. I think I'd be pretty shocked by that. Tennessee blew their team out. Yeah, there are too many teams in front of us. But they beat Louisville to be ranked. And then they'll beat BC, and they'll be 4-0. And the ESPN folks will be looking for a reason to get game day to tally. I'm going to go with a no on that answer if nobody could tell. But are they one of the 20? But have they been one of the best 25 teams in the country so far this year? I think so. I think I'd buy that. Right? Are they a top 25 team? I don't know. Let's see if they go on the road and beat Louisville. I mean, remember what Sam was saying before this game? That Florida State had no excuses to lose this one. First-year coach, new system, whole bunch of new players transitioning in. Third year for Mike Norvell. We got all the returning production. Jordan Travis, better quarterback. All those things Sam said. Sam ended up being right. This game could have gone either way, but Florida State was better and played better and coached better and looked better and fought better. That same thing has to be said about Louisville, right? Not a first-year coach, not a brand new system, but this is Florida State. You can't lose to Louisville after beating LSU. Now, if you had come out and lost by 30 to LSU, that'd have been a must-win to me, but nobody would have been shocked if we lost it. I think you got to go beat Louisville. Got to find a way to get that done, especially with how they looked against Syracuse, man. You can take Louisville out of the ACC race by winning that game. They're done. Eddie, my man, what's going on?
Yo, love your thought process there. Not going to argue. Just wanted to tie it back to some older stuff. Last night was totally awesome. I was with my daughter, and my wife was totally pissed that I let my kids stay up so late. But we were watching the game, and they loved seeing me go crazy. I was trying to teach them rules. It was impossible to teach a 7-year-old football. But I just wanted to say it was so great, and to close out the show, and it was really fun, and it was awesome to be there with my kids and watching the game. I was at home, didn't get to go myself, FOMO, but just wanted to shout out to the FSU Spaces and go Noles.
I appreciate you, my man. Eddie's the man, y'all. Eddie helps out a little bit on Bourbon on a Budget, does some of the video work for us, helps us produce a little bit. Eddie's my man, big time Seminole, contributed some neat stuff to Rising Spears. Going to work with them a little bit. So Eddie is my dude, man. I reached out one day just literally asking for if anybody could help out with some editing stuff on Bourbon on a Budget. And I think Brendan may have seen Brendan's tweet or may have messaged. I don't know how we got connected, but I'm glad we did. Eddie's a good guy. You can meet some good people here on this app. So you can meet some jerks too, but you can meet some good people here on this app. So shout out Eddie. Somebody said, will Oregon fall out of the top 25? Where was Oregon? 12, 11? That's a long way to fall, man. I think Oregon will be, man, they should. They look like dog crap. But I think Georgia's that good. You got to move Georgia up to 1. Well, I guess Ohio State did beat a higher ranked team, but man, Georgia is Georgia. Are they the best team in the country again? Is that where we're at? Crazy. Georgia's really, really good. I don't know if we're going to fall out. Maybe, but I don't know. Parker Growthhouse was the kickoff specialist last year. I just knew it wasn't Ryan, so that makes sense. See Breeze tweet, given the SEC, their only loss of the week is so beautiful it hurts. It's beautiful. Man, Clemson just stinks. All right. I don't know if we have much else. Let me look one more time through the questions, see if there's anything I missed, and then we will get out of here. And we'll call it a night, man. My voice is tired. We are going to do a double fries, no slaw at noon tomorrow. Both Richie and I are, well, I don't have a job, so there's that. But Richie's off work. My man said his voice was so bad that he couldn't even order a beer at the airport today. And I was like, what are you doing still drinking? My man is a soldier, clearly. Salamo Digital Marketing, our NIL friends. They've worked with AJ Duffy, Jordan Travis, and they have more deals in the pipeline. They support FSU student athletes, and they support this space, this show. If you missed any part of this, it is recorded both here on Twitter. It'll be on Patreon, and it will be on YouTube. It's live on YouTube now. If you're watching on YouTube, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Oh, somebody asked about the Nugget. Y'all got to be here for the space. I got to go back and tell the story again. I'll tell this real quick. You got to go back and listen to it and go subscribe on YouTube. Ty, just because I know you are subscribed, that's why I'll answer this. But yeah, I talked with some people close to the Hakeem Williams situation. I'll just read you the exact message so that I don't have to make stuff up. Oh man, my man Hakeem Williams was loving his life last night. Had a hell of a time, a great time at the FSU game. Huge. I like Florida State there. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Long way to go. Signing day is the 18th. We've liked a lot of recruits that didn't, or signing days in December. We'll see what happens there, but I've been told that was big. That was big. Man, shout out FSU fans. I see Miss Sherry in here. Shout out the people that look, you're not a bad, if you couldn't make it to New Orleans, that's fine. But shout out the people that were out there last night because you guys showed out. And I think that was massive for the team. All of the team has been talking about that. Just huge. Bourbon Street was fantastic. I met Slip and Benny, y'all. I met Charlie. I met all these characters from Spaces. That was wild. Shout out my guy Gianni. He was out there. I'm trying to look through real quick and see if I see people that were out there. But if you were out there, hey, if you were out there and you posted a picture with us at the tailgate yesterday during the day, I didn't have my phone. So like retag me in that or send to my DM. I'll make sure we get that shared from both my account and the pod account. Appreciate everybody's support. The tailgate was incredible yesterday. Again, I don't mean to harp on that, but it was freaking fantastic. I appreciate my boys, appreciate my team. Uncle Silk, Larion, CJ, our camera guy, Lion, Richie, Harlan, all the people that come out and support, all the people that help us do what we do. You guys' support and just the fact that you guys show up to these dumb spaces, this dumb YouTube channel, just all this stuff we do, and it is really appreciated. And all we want to do is bring you dope content and do dope stuff and throw dope parties and great tailgates and stuff like that. So your support, your support, whether you're supporting our sponsors, Gramco, Garnet & Gold, whoever, Salomon Digital Market, whatever the situation is, that's why we're able to do stuff like this. And so I appreciate you guys. Pray for my voice to come back so I don't have to sound like this on tomorrow's show. We'll be back, I think, at noon. I think we're going to do it at noon, a daytime double fries. That doesn't happen often, but again, Richie's off. So we're going to try and get it done during the day. Might have some other cool stuff, some other cool content dropping soon. I'm out of a voice. Somebody asked how we beat Louisville. Man, we're going to celebrate this win for a few more days before I break down Louisville. So let's talk about that soon. but it's happening. So, all right, I appreciate you guys a ton. Go check out the YouTube if you're here on Spaces. It's youtube.com/C/double-fries-no-slaw. Go give us a subscribe over there. That would be a huge help towards what we're doing and trying to put together for folks. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're here on the YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Double Fries No Slaw at noon. We'll talk about this win a little bit more. I'll watch it before then so I can actually know what I'm talking about and not just go off of emotion. Love you guys so much. Go Noles. Again, if you're here on the YouTube, do me a favor. There's 50 people in here. Do me a favor. Smash that subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. And then share this video. Share this video to your social media. Man, the Noles, I know this came out late, but I appreciate you guys rocking with us. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. We're going to do a lot more of these fun instant reactions. They're going to be more instant next time. But there's going to be a lot of fun that we're going to have with this stuff this year. This team's really good. I'm excited to hang out with you guys. Go Noles.